Hi, I'm Chris Haigh and this is the Fiddle channel, and today we're going to play Ain't Misbehavin'. Ain't Misbehavin' was a request for Brian, one of my supporters on Patreon. This was written by Fats Waller and he did it in E flat. This is a well-known tune among what you might call mainstream jazz players, but it's also very common as a hot club number, and Django recorded this in 1937. And we're going to look at mostly at Grappelli's playing of this tune on that recording. So we're going to start off by playing a simplified version of the melody based on Grappelli's playing. Then we'll look at a few individual licks that he uses. So we're in the key of D, which is a much more friendly key for the fiddle. We start off. Now we've got that A. You could do it with an open A, which is easy, but by sliding up to third position, you get not only the nice slide, but you get a better vibrato than you would either with an open string, obviously, or with your fourth finger. So if you see me jumping up and down just for that note, that is the reason. Now we then have a 2-bar gap, and normally you will fill that with something or other. We're going to leave it blank for now, but any kind of fill would be nice in there. Repeat the A section. You could, if you wanted, on that repeat, go up an octave. And then maybe drop down again. B section. So it's up to third position, second finger on the B note, fourth a C above that. So that's 3, 2, 1 is the way I do it, and then up to a harmonic E. I'll just do all of that again. That's if you want to stay in third position. Okay, I'll do it again, this time with the backing, and this time also I will fill those little 2-bar gaps. Okay, so far so good. Now in terms of improvising, let's look at some specific licks that Grappelli uses. And there's one in particular which he in fact uses at bar 7 and 8, but you can use virtually anywhere, and this is a really useful lick. That one. So it comes, as many of Grappelli's licks do, on the half beat after the bar line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. and it's got what I call the big stretch. So a fourth finger on the B note down to an F natural on the first finger. And because this is in D, we're starting off on the 6th note of the scale, and we're jumping to the flattened third, the blue note. So I'm going to play that repeatedly through the sequence and just see how many times I can use it effectively. So you can see it worked not only all the way through the A section, but also on the chords of the bridge. So that in itself is a really useful lick. A couple more. At the start of the bridge, we've got... so this is kind of an alternative to the melody phrase. The melody phrase being... But we're going... the last beat of the previous bar, 1, 2, 3, and then we're just going down an arpeggio. So that will fit nicely either once or 3 times or even more during the bridge. We've also got at the end of the bridge 1, 2, 3. Very standard type Grappelli lick, 1, 2, 3. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, and then a slide up to and down from the C natural. And then we also have in the final 3 bars 1, 2, 3. So it's again comes in on the second half beat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So 2 things happening here. One is all of those notes are syncopated, so that bap, 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 bap. And we've got parallel fifths. So the first finger is doing that, but it's also leaning over onto the E string. Doing that, and that's something again you could use a lot. So I'll go through from the beginning. I will do lots of the first lick, and I'll try and get the other 3 licks in place at the start of the bridge, the end of the bridge, and at the end of the verse. Bridge coming up. 1, 2, 3. 3, 4, 1. Didn't quite place the last one right, but it didn't sound wrong even though it was in the wrong place. And finally we've got there's a unison lick that Grappelli and Django play together for most of a verse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 2, 3, 4, 1. So you can either play it just as a D note or an octave above, or both together, which if you can get it in tune is a really nice one. So that repeats 3 times, and the 4th time 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And notice I'm doing this right down at the heel and lifting off every time. So let's do that all the way through the A sections. Again, 2, 3, 4, 1. So that's quite fun. If you are arranging and rehearsing with a guitarist, then you can suggest that you do this together. If you are, as I often very used to, sitting in with musicians I wasn't familiar with, I would just, when it's towards the end of my solo, turn around at the guitarist, look at him and start playing this riff, and most Django guitarists are going to know this one, so they would immediately join in with it. Okay, finally, if you're going to improvise with this and not use any of those Grappelli licks, then the A section is very easy, and you can base it all around the D major pentatonic or the D major blues scale. When it comes to the bridge, I do find the chords B minor to G7 to E7 to B7 really quite challenging, and what I will normally do is just I either base my solo around the melody or else do something like just play around the roots of B, G, E, B, which is not very satisfactory, but that's the way I approach it. Okay, so I will do a final solo, and this time I will just improvise it and not follow the Grappelli licks. And so on. Hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like a copy of the sheet music, do subscribe to the channel and send me an email. If you'd like a copy of all of my PDFs, then do join me on Patreon and you get them all for free. And that's, I think, around 450 of them so far. And there's also on Patreon and nowhere else a Gypsy Jazz Fiddle collection that I've made of Gypsy Jazz standards. And there's lots of other goodies on there as well. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again soon.